What's up, boys? It's Gaz, and welcome back. I am back after like 3 or 4 days not making videos because I've been moving, and I'm kind of fully moved in at this point. I'm actually recording this video laid on a carpet in my new basement, and it's not exactly the best way to do this, but we have a lot of information that came out this week and a lot of new stuff that's been added this week, including dog days just went up today, so we're going to try to multitask here. So to get dog days rewards, you have to go to Nakak and Cetus, and she's got this stuff. So I'd recommend getting the beach color palette, maybe the dog days capture a scene, and these little beach balls. You can put these in your ship, and your pets will play with them. The more fancy ones have higher pearl costs, and the dirty one is only 210. So keep that in mind. There's also some mods you can farm from Kayla to Fame that come from this reward or this event as well. So the ones I'd recommend, most of them are pretty good actually. Acid Shells is really nice. Medi Ray also really nice. Ack and Brunt one is really good. Electromagnetic Shielding. Vulcan Blitz is pretty fun for the Jack-Katag, or Jack-Kassar, or yeah, Jack-Katag, not Jack-Kassar. We're going to talk about Riven changes in this video. This is going to be the only video you need to watch for Warframe this week, by the way. Ripkaz one, I've heard people like this, but I've never actually used it myself. Rift Strike, this used to be really nice back in the day, but it's not exactly the best thing anymore for the Twin Basalt. Ogress, oh yeah, make sure you get the Ogress Nightwatch Napalm one. If you use Dakuba Ogress, I highly recommend using this mod on the build. 140 pearls is kind of a lot, but yeah. Harkonar Scope, I don't really think this one's very important for the sniper combo counter. And the Dracoon one is kind of like whatever. I use it, but it's not really amazing. So, the rest of the stuff is cosmetics. And the way you do this is you actually go to the map, and then you go to Dog Days. And we're trying to multitask here. I'm gonna see if you can still do the old strategy. Not the old strategy that probably would have got me banned back in the day, but the other old strategy where you just jump on top of a rock and get free pearls. Now they did change it where you actually have to kill stuff to get more pearls, but just for the basis, you can just jump on top of a rock and AFK, and the enemies can't attack you. But we'll see if they changed it. Now we're going to get into the Riven nerfs and all the new Inaros Prime stuff. So this is Dog Days. She orders us to have fun, guys. I don't know. It's going to be kind of hard to do that with this really boring event. But, you know, there is a rock over here I can jump on top of. And I don't think the enemies can actually hit me up here. Oh, they jump up here now. Alright, let's try over here, maybe. They shouldn't be able to get you over here. Ooh. That didn't count for a kill for them. Okay. We'll find a spot we can hide on. Nope. Okay, looks like they've nerfed quite a few of the things that we used before. So you might actually want to play the game normally. Get some kills here and there. Although I have not really extensively tested this since it just came out. I'm sure there's a rock you can find that the enemies won't get you to. Or get you at. So we'll try right here. Let's go over the Inaros stuff. If I die, I die. I don't really care that much. Alright, so for Inaros Prime, which came out this week, by the way, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about here. So first off, here's where you get his drops. You're going to get the blueprint. There's a chart on screen. So basically, any of the Axie Relics, I'd recommend you get them from Apollo on Lua. And Apollo on Lua is actually a disruption node with a bunch of nullifiers, and you actually I just check out the official drop tables. Pretty much, you don't want to actually beat every single conduit. You want to like fail some of them on purpose because the Axie drop table I think is on B or A and B. I believe C has like a bunch of other stuff it's diluted with. So check the official drop tables for that exact method. But for the other relics, I'd say just like do some quick Ukko capture missions in the Void. Do something like that. So yeah, they did. It seems like they did patch it to make it so the enemies will attack you on the rock. But for the low level one, it doesn't actually matter. So yeah, that's where you get the stuff for the Panthera Karst and Inaros Prime. And you might want to get Inaros Prime sooner rather than later, because we're going to go over some stuff right here. So if you have Inaros Prime when Barrow comes here this weekend, we're actually going to have something called the Barrow Katir Defense Mission. Barrow is so excited that you're playing on Inaros Prime, he's actually going to give you access to this once-a-week mission that you can buy from him. And it's going to have some new drops in it as rewards. So here's the drops on the screen. So there's a new Inaros helmet. There's a Noggle statue of Inaros' coffin. There's and then there's an Alexis armor, Latron armor set. So you can do this once per week, or once per Barrow visit rather, if you have Inaros Prime equipped when you go to Barrow. So you might want to get him pretty quickly, because Barrow will be here in like 3 days. So he's probably pretty cheap at this point. Like, new Prime sets don't last very long, like high price-wise, so he's probably like 100 plat or 150 plat right now. So I might just grab him, because I don't got a desk right now. So I'm literally like recording this in a very odd position on the carpet. But, you know, I already said that once. I'm just trying to rub it in at this point that you can't see it. But yeah, that's what you do. And the new helmet for Inaros is really ugly. So here's a picture of it. The Inaros Osiris helmet. It looks like total garbage to me. But, I mean, maybe with, like, custom colors and stuff, it could look cooler. So, that's how it is. These squirt gun boys are going to kill me. I'm dead. So, I need to make sure I get 1 kill before the end of this squirt gun fight, or the enemies will win. And the squirt gun fight is really, really lame. So, I don't want to do it more than once. So, I'm just going to make sure I get that kill on that Hayeka Master and get back to my spot. You guys couldn't really see that, but whatever. Oh my god, they're back. I'm sure you get like a good angle here that they can't actually hit you on. Looks like their weapons have knockback now too. Yeah, they have improved the AI quite a bit. Alright. So that's the Inaros mission. And Inaros drops. Let's go over the Riven nerfs now. Riven changes, because this is one of the few Riven changes in like the last year I've not been extremely like pissed off and like wanted to go on like a murderous rampage over. So, let's get into it. I don't even care if I fail this Barrow thing or whatever it's called, the squirt gun fight. So let's get into the window capture. Alright, so here are the Riven changes. We're going to go over them. I'm not going to get too pissed off, because like really like they didn't nerf as much as I was expecting them to. So let's go over them. So Exceltra got buffed, or got nerfed rather. Expected, just a 5% nerf. You'll notice here there's a lot less 5% buffs and nerfs, and more like actual big girthy buffs and big girthy nerfs, which I actually prefer. If you're going to nerf something, don't just like be a jerk about it and just do it a little bit. Just actually do it. If you're going to buff something, don't be a little baby about it. Just do it like the way it's justified. And by the way, this post was made by Mr. Riven Nerf. He nerfs all the Rivens and buffs all the Rivens, so keep that in mind. So, okay, we got the Astilla getting a 5% baby buff. Archiplasma getting an actual buff. Bosmu getting a 10% buff. By the way, we won. Okay. So the rest of this stuff, like, Corinth Prime has worse Rivens than the Corinth Normal now. Pretty annoying. Vacor Heck and Heck have good Rivens now, which is nice. Kuva Brahma getting another nerf. Shedu getting another nerf. Annoying. Normal Rubico getting buffed, but not the Rubico Prime. Keep that in mind. Normal Tiburon. See, like, none of these are like the actual Prime versions. So Tiburon Normal got a 5% buff. Like, whoop-de-frickin-do. Tombfinger primary buff. Catchmoon primary buff. Gaze primary buff. And they're actually substantial buffs. Like, for example, the Catchmoon primary got a 25% buff. Sorry about that. Alright. So, pretty much, like, the only things that really got nerfed were the Shedu, the Kuva Brahma, the Corinth Prime, and the Exceltra in the primary slots. And the Kuva Brahma one was pretty big, but it's not like you didn't expect at this point. I think the Kuva Brahma won't go any lower, but then again, maybe it will. Like, it's really hard to call. But it's very low stats at this point, so I wouldn't expect it to get another nerf anytime soon. Or, you know what? I can't actually predict that. But at least the primary kit guns got a buff in the primary section. Moving on to the secondary section. Okay, so the quick and dirty of this. The only secondary that got nerfed was the Kuva Nucor, and that was a big nerf from 0.8 to 0.65. Everything else was a buff that they did. They didn't touch the Twin Comac, sadly, but Carius got a baby buff. The whole Akbolto family got a buff, which is nice. Aklex and Aklex Prime got a buff. Baby buff, of course. Cynex got a baby buff. Like, a lot of these are baby buffs, to be fair, in the secondary set. Let's see what else we got. Kuva Kraken got a buff for some reason. I find that very surprising. Funa Prime got a buff. Pandero, baby buff. Plinks, baby. Yeah, these are all baby buffs, pretty much. I wouldn't think too much about them. But when we get to the melee section, there's actually some juicy stuff here I'm excited about. So, if you want to look at these, I'll link them in the description. But pretty much, the stuff that I really am focusing on here in the melee section is the well, first off, the Broken War got a nice 10% buff. That's nice. It's going in order, stuff I actually care about here. Like, there's plenty. Anorak's had a huge buff too, but I'm not really too worried about that one. So the Dokram Zaw got a nerf, which sucks. Dragon Akana got a nerf as well, which also sucks. Prisma Dual Cleaver's got a buff, a baby buff, but it might actually be one of like the better stat sticks now, because it does have the Penetrating Justice mod. I don't know what it's actually called. It's like basically a Jaw Sword Blade of Truth mod for the Dual Cleavers. And the Prisma Dual Cleavers have good dispo now, so I can see this being one of the better stat sticks. I'm surprised they got buffed, honestly, because they're really good weapons already. Dual Kama's Prime got a buff, which is good, because Dual Kama's Prime are irrelevant. Normal Dual Kama's got it, but who cares about that? Dual Carry's got a big nerf. My Dual Carry's lost about, I think, 0.4 meters of range with this nerf, so that sucks. Endura got a buff. Endura is actually really good. So here's the things I really care about. So the Frag War Prime got a gigantic buff. The Frag War Prime was already like one of the best. It actually was probably the best charge attack weapon in the game that's not like a scythe with a slash procs. So Frag War Prime, oh boy. Okay, so keep that one in mind, guys. That is insane. They got a huge buff there. Galatine Prime got a big buff of 10%. So maybe check it out if you want to. The Galatine Prime's a little bit outdated, but still pretty good. Grand Prime got a gigantic max value nerf here. Grand Prime Riven's probably going to drop in price after that giant nerf. I'm sure they already have. Gunson got another buff, which I'm surprised about, but like then again, who's actually using the Gunson? Gunson is good, but I find it a little bit annoying to use, although it does have very, very good stats. Hate got a nerf, 5% nerf, annoying, but that's just, they're gonna do what they want to do. Sonoid Heliacore got a big buff. Apparently there's a passive on this thing that's bugged, and it's got good ribbons at least, so that's that. Haruto got a big buff, that's nice. 25% value, or 0.25 buff on the Haruto, which is really, really nice. Keep an eye out on that one in the future, maybe getting even stronger. Here's the thing I really care about right here. Jack Hussar going from 0.95 to 1.1. Gigantic buff to the Jack Hussar Rivens. And my Riven is actually stronger than like 3 Prime mods at this point. It's like a Prime Fury. It's better than Prime Fury. It's pretty much just as good as Sacrificial Steel. Almost as good. It's not as high as Sacrificial Steel, but almost. And then it's got crit damage and minus infested. So it's an extremely powerful mod. And I can't wait until I get like an actual desk and stuff to use that thing. Maybe in the Barokatir defense mission. The Karudo got a buff, one of my favorites as well, so that's good. Normal Krokir got a buff for some reason. So that thing's actually pretty good, so maybe give that one a shot. Cronin Prime getting a maximum value nerf, unfortunately, but you don't even need a Riven for the Cronin Prime, to be fair. Although this is an annoying nerf that they nerfed it so much. Not like we didn't expect it, though. So, rip Cronin Rivens. Good thing I sold mine before they nerfed it. Kuva Shieldeg getting another nerf. That really sucks. My Kuva Shieldeg has really low stats now. I already looked at it. It's lower than Prime Fury on the attack speed value. So, most of these Blade and Whips are actually getting a huge buff. So, for example, the Lecta, from 0.7 to 1. That's bigger buffs than they usually are even, like, allowing. They usually do 0.2 or 0.25 as the maximum value nerf / buff, but they did say on this balance pass they're going to be doing bigger buffs than usual. So there's one right there. From 0.7 to 1. That's literally 0.3 of a buff, which is pretty huge. So nice stuff there. Mios getting a 0.1 buff. Meyer getting nerfed, which is really weird. I feel like people were using the Meyer more of a stat stick than a Jawster, because the Jawster did not get nerfed. So Meyer getting a baby nerf right there. Very questionable. But that's too bad for people that use the Meyer. I think the Jaw Sword has higher disposition now than the Meyer, but it's weird that they nerf one, didn't nerf the other, but, you know, whatever. That's how it is. Nami Scholar Prime getting a nerf, annoying, but that's just how it is. Ninkandi Prime getting a big nerf, which is surprising. I didn't think people actually still use that thing, but they are very strong, so I guess a lot of people are using it, or were using it, rather. Oma getting a buff for some reason. Oma's really good. Has low crit, but it's doable, it's usable. Orthos Prime getting a buff, a very baby buff, but, you know, a buff nonetheless. Paracesis getting a nerf again. That really is annoying. Pathicist getting a buff. Pathicist is actually sleeper really good, guys. So I'd say maybe check out the Pathicist Riven. Pennant, Plague Kiwar, and Plague Critpath all getting pretty substantial nerfs here. Actually, the Pennant's getting a baby nerf. But they did big nerfs to the Plague Crit Path and Plague Kiwar. That's very frustrating. I thought that the time of the Plague Kiwar and Crit Path was over, and they weren't as popular anymore, but apparently people are still using them en masse. They nerfed those really hard. Extremely frustrating there. Then we've got the Reaper Prime and the Redeemer Prime both getting pretty substantial nerfs. Redeemer Prime getting a gigantic nerf. Redeemer Riven's like, yikes. Like, just yikes. That really sucks. Those are some of the strongest melees in the game. They still will be, but those are substantial nerfs, and I'm not really happy about it. But I'm sure you can tell by my tone today, I'm not as mad as I normally am, because there's been plenty of buffs sprinkled in here, and we're not even at the buffs I'm most excited about at the end. So, Sindo Prime getting buff, whatever. Sepfon Zaw getting a huge nerf, which is kind of bullshit, if you ask me. From 0.9 to 0.75. I know it's popular, but like they were already pretty weak ribbons, in my opinion. They were below neutral value, so they've nerfed that down to 0.75. They're actually weaker than Redeemer Prime ribbons now, which is kind of dumb. They've unnerfed the Skana Prime's Dispo that they nerfed a while ago, so maybe people are getting really mad and stop playing the game when they nerfed the Skana Prime ribbons, so those have been unnerfed. They're back to 1.2. Decent stat stick there. Techo Prime getting nerfed. Twin Basalt getting a baby buff. Twin Croakier getting a pretty substantial nerf. And here's the thing I'm most excited about in this entire patch notes, guys. The Vanka Prime going from 0.65 to 0.8. So the Vanka Prime ribbons might actually be worth using now. And the thing is, I used a Vanka Prime with a Riven for a level 3000 mission in the past, and it was tearing through enemies. So this, with a crit chance Riven, you might actually be able to get to permanent red crit territory with a Riven. So let me just show my my Vanka real quick. That's all the changes, pretty much. The war got buffed again, like whoop-de frickin' do. It's gonna need like 3 more balance passes before it's actually worth using. Wolf Sludge getting a buff as well. So quickly, let me show you the Vanka Riven. So, it was already almost like, the problem is before, like, oh, wrong button. Before, if you got a crit chance Riven, you actually wouldn't get the permanent red crits, but now you might actually. So with something like this, on the Vanka Prime, it's got 32. We're in like almost always orange crits. With all this slash and stuff, these will be nasty. I'd say maybe consider picking this up, a Riven for these, and trying to roll for some crit stats, some attack speed, some range, whatever. I'm really happy with this roll because it lets me save on some slots, and finisher damage doesn't actually matter. So definitely keep that in mind. I think this might be one of the strongest melees in the game currently, because it already was really, really good and could kill like level 1000 plus easily. And with buffed up Rivens, you know how it is. So that's it for the video, guys. I think I covered everything I want to. We got the dog days, we got borrow, we got Riven changes, and I'm gonna try to get back into streaming soon here. Got a lot of stuff to handle. Like I said, don't even have a desk, so I'll talk to you guys next time. Hopefully the video was helpful. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and take it easy, guys. Peace.